Yeah.
So I don't know, man. You were drilling me on some questions on Bitcoin, and I figured I'd hop on Skype and answer anything questions you had because it's easier to explain through video or text and
You're right. Well, it's crazy. Since I asked you, 5,000 is
gone.
shattered, and
Yep.
now it's at 7. That is sad and hilarious at the same time.
Yeah.
Like, you got to be kidding me, bro. It's so unpredictable. Like, I was looking at this at 4,500 with my friend 2 weeks ago, and I'm like, I think I'll drop a couple hundred on some small cryptos. And I'm like, why would I even do that when Bitcoin's so established? And I'm like, Bitcoin's so established and it's like on the rise. Like, why? It's expensive, but I'm like, this is where the way I want to invest is like not in singling little companies out and hoping for the best. It's in like just long term, just how the stock market's been. It's just long term and holding. That's what real investing is. Like, I
Mhm.
want to be able to buy something that I know will be good 20 years from now, that will, pay for my kids to go to college or something. Not like, this .com thing. Let's, do this. But I mean, I've bought silver and gold before too, for the same reason I'm interested in Bitcoin.
Uh-huh.
And that's that the dollar is not worth anything.
It isn't. Yeah.
So that's kind of my idea on it. I'm seeing this rise, and I'm just like, well, is this going to be a future? If this is in fact going to be a futuristic way to exchange, goods, then this is going to be worth far more than what it is now. If so, my thought is like, well, if it's going to be a dud or it's going to be freaking huge.
Yeah, that's very true because there's like the total maximum capacity of Bitcoin, man. There's not enough total Bitcoin.
21 million, right?
Yeah. There's more than the population of Canada is more than 21 million people. Like there's not enough people in Canada,
Right.
not enough Bitcoins for one Bitcoin to be everybody in Canada. So it's one of those things like a Bitcoin. John McAfee's guessing that it's going to be around $500,000 by 2020. So
So
it's
yeah, we're talking decimals. Like, decimals are good in the future.
exactly, and that's totally fine. And they already have a form factor for that, so that way it's not like send me 0.00007 Bitcoin. It's called milli Bitcoin, so 2.6 M Bitcoin. It's like just basically 10 to the
You move a
tenth
decimal
power.
over.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay.
And so it
Okay.
they've already designed that system because they expect it to grow. So
Yeah.
it's one of those things that they're prepared. But man, right now, like for long term gains, it's going to be Bitcoin. Bitcoin's going to be the long term gains. The altcoins, you might get lucky and you'll find like a Facebook or a Google in there if you're absolutely like super lucky. But the problem with those little small companies is they're not even like quality investments. Like an ICO is not even like an IPO, an initial product offering for a stock, at least has a company backing the system.
Mm-hmm.
Where these brand new small companies and these small coins usually don't even have a business model yet. Majority of them are
Wow.
just an idea with a team of 5 people that are good at typing up a white paper, and that's what they'll
Just a
do.
hunch.
Yeah, and then they'll market the white paper, and that's it. And 90% of these little coins that are showing up are dead. It's you kind of mentioned it, like the .com bubble, man. Like when that was happening through the .com bubble, just because somebody had a website, they had this multi-million-dollar evaluation on what their stuff was worth on their website or their
Mm-hmm.
company on the stock market, and that's kind of what's happening right now on these altcoins, these other smaller coins. Is dude, the price of them are so overvalued for what they're really worth.
Hmm.
So
Yeah, dude, I'm just like, I want to watch it. Like, I'm waiting for it to tinker off. Like, I wish, like, okay, can I have a 2 week time machine? Can I have a '09 time machine? Like,
you're telling me,
just
dude.
saw, I just saw a meme from Back to the Future. It's like, we need to go back to 2009 and buy Bitcoin.
Yeah, that's no joke. I mean, I in high school, like right out of high school, 2012, they were probably $35, $40 a share. I was buying and selling them throughout high school. So
Oh, really?
I was
Wow.
trading, yeah, I was trading on an exchange called Camp BX, making okay money. Going back and forth doing that, besides selling energy drinks, being your competitor, selling selling drinks in high school.
Yeah, we should have turned those profits into Bitcoin.
No, no lie, dude.
Be talking on in private jets right now.
I took all the profits from my energy drinks and pissed it away on toilet paper to throw on some people's houses. Like that's that's what I did. And yeah, if I'd have just bought 10 Bitcoin, or this is the sad part. I had about 12 Bitcoin when they were worth probably $35 each, at least 12, because I sold out.
Wow.
I sold out around $150 threshold, somewhere around there, maybe 200, and then went to Santa Cruz on vacation with about 3 grand. So
Wow.
it's like one of those moments in my life. I'm like, damn, like I was
Yeah,
there.
every generation though, everyone
Has
knows,
that?
the guy who was kind of in with that one company. It's just like,
Yep.
you know, you just live and learn through that.
Yeah, and I mean, my dad sells or says the same thing with Yahoo and Google. He's like, yeah, dude,
Right,
I saw
right.
both of those. Everybody does. But for me, I was like, dude, I was there. Dude, I was there.
Yeah, you were actually in it. Mine was like, I just heard some nerd talking about it. You were like, you saw potential.
Yeah, like I was genuinely there. I was buying computers to mine them or looking to. I never actually purchased.
Holy crap.
Yeah, I bought a little like USB drive that was out of date. I was like probably 6 months behind, but I was there.
Mm,
Like I was there,
wow.
and I don't know what happened, dude.
Hmm.
It went up and then it crashed, and then during that crash, I just was like, dude, no, I'm done. Like I'm not gonna risk this. I made
Mm,
money. I'm great. Like cool. The blow up of MT Gox of it getting hacked. I'm like, dude, no, Bitcoin's over. And then kind of
mm,
let it trickle off. Researched a little bit here and there for the next like probably 2 3 years, and then about a year ago, year and a half ago, 2 years ago, year and a half ago now, one of my friends that I met just through another friend just comes back to me and goes, "Hey, I'm mining Bitcoin again." And I'm like, "Dude, you can't do that." Like I'm like, "No, there's no freaking way." Like,
what was
no.
the cost or what was the price at that point?
$1,000, thousand eight
A year and
hundred.
a half ago?
Yeah, like
Yeah, you're like too much. You're like it's too much.
yeah, it was like $1,200. I was like, "Nah."
That's what I've been thinking the last 3 months. Or
Yeah.
last no, not 3 months. I've been looking at this for like a month. I've been seeing it on Facebook and I kept scrolling for about 8 months.
Mhm.
You know.
Yeah,
So
and that's what I've been doing. It was like, so I was like, nah, and then so I went his way, and so I bought $5,000 worth of mining rigs, so a bunch of
wow.
GPU cards to mine the alternate coins. I was like, yeah, because that's how I had that start force mindset. I was like, cool, like I'm making passive money. These computers are paying me $500 a month. That's great. It's just
Mm,
going to come into the door, and as Bitcoin goes up, it climbs. But if I'd have took that five
mm,
Gs and just put it into Bitcoin directly, man, I would 7 times my money right now.
mm-hmm.
Instead, I made $2,000 or $3,000 off mining.
You would have had 5 coins and
Yeah, I'm
yeah.
just like, well, that's all right. So that's kind of what I slowly moved into, and then I got lucky and caught the Ethereum wave back in May. So right before my birthday, I saw I saw ETH popping. I was
Okay.
watching it. I was telling everybody on Facebook, it's like, dude, it's $65. I was like, dude, it's going to blow. It's going to go to 100. Jumps to 88, and I was like, it's gonna go to 100. And then at 88 is when I finally bought in. So I bought in light,
Mm,
and then started buying in heavily. It went all the way up to like $400.
oh wow.
I took something like $2,000 and turned it into nine. Um,
Wow.
yeah, in the course of May, June, I think July was the peak, and then sold out right there with about a
What's
seventh of
Ethereum at now?
300 and something. So
Oh, it dropped.
yeah, it had a it was
You played your cards right.
yeah, it had a massive hype run, and there was a bunch of like news around it, kind of like what's happening with Bitcoin right now. A lot of news, a
Mm,
lot of hype, and a lot of people joining the Ethereum community because they're more of a software development. So I
yeah,
saw
yeah.
that, and then it hit this top, and I was day trading as well, so I was literally watching the network all the time to go in and go out. And so,
Mm,
and also too, I was super highly leveraged because at the time that the exchange I was using would allow you to use 3 times the money that you had in there. So
wow.
I popped in 2,000 to start with, and then turned it into to nine. Made about $6,000 profit, $8,000 profit, somewhere around there. And
What exchange did you use?
Coinbase. So I was using Coinbase, but
So Coinbase made your dollars go farther?
yeah, GDAX technically. So Coinbase has
Okay.
a sister company which they're linked together, which it's like their exchange platform. Like TD Ameritrade
Mm,
has Thinkorswim. So exchange or Coinbase has GDAX, GDAX, and that's all on website, all web browser. So it would allow you before to use a margin account to stretch your money out.
mm,
Now you can do that through
wow.
Bitfinex. Bitfinex will allow you to do like 6 times, six or more, I think. So You can still stretch your
So
money out and
could
play
I
the game.
buy Bitcoin at that point for lower than the market says right now?
So no, you can't buy it. Well, I mean, it's gonna dip. You can't like buy it for cheaper. What you can do is you can
Mm,
wait for it to dip, buy in with an exchange account, and just get a bunch of discount. Like leverage your account like 3 or 4 times, buy a bunch of extra bitcoins, and then when it starts to go up, because eventually they'll start charging you a fee for holding the money. And once you get to the
yeah.
point where you get to the fees, you sell out and then start the process over again. When you get a good dip, you buy back in on leverage and then just use the extra
Mm.
money and you'll swing trade with the extra money
What's
on
the charge for holding?
nothing, like almost nothing.
Okay.
Yeah, I
Or no,
think,
not for selling, but for holding.
yeah, almost nothing. It was like a couple
Oh,
dollars a
good.
day at most, like on
Mm,
thousands. So I had five
mm,
thousand in there. I was trading with $50,000, like what they gave me, something like that.
mm.
For 30 something thousand, the exact number doesn't matter. But I was trading with an ass ton, and I think it charged me like $3 a day.
Okay, so not even nothing to worry about.
Nothing, nothing that's gonna kill your profit, especially with it going up 5% days, 6% days. You know.
So really, I have to. I think I've got to wait for this hype on. I got to wait for the articles to stop coming. People to kind of get that scared because I saw 100,000 new users join Coinbase.
Yeah.
That is ridiculous.
Yes.
That is,
In one day. In one day.
So I go on the libertarian Facebook page, right? So
Right.
sometimes they'll do memes across the board, right? So they recently did a meme on Bitcoin,
Okay.
right? So these guys aren't about the government that much. They don't give a crap about the U.S. dollar. They're pissed about the money not being backed by gold. So they make memes about it. So I'm going through the comments and I'm seeing like maybe 10% of the comments are people who are into Bitcoin and stoked. The rest of them, the other half are people that are skeptical and hopeful, and the other half are people who are salty about not being in it, saying it won't last, right? So you have hundreds and hundreds of these comments, and it's like, it's just very interesting that the hype, like, there's not many people that really know about it. Like if we were to talk to all of our friends, 10% might know about it or heard from it, and like maybe 5% know a guy who has one or know a guy who knows a guy.
Yeah.
So it's like once that gets, that's what, like my thought on like silver or gold. If the stock market were to go down, and the moment they put some articles about silver or gold being a good investment, boom, everyone's like, oh, let's get that, So that hasn't really happened yet for Bitcoin.
No,
But
it did in Venezuela.
Happen,
it happened in Venezuela. So Venezuela's country is crashing right now, and when the Venezuelan government, that's what actually started this original curve again of going up. So Venezuela's collapsing. They're under riots. Their dollars getting faded, and then it's all this news around Venezuela is creating this bubble. And then there was this one specific article that kind of started a little bit of trend. It was like, I think it was a spoof article. I think it was fake anyway, but it was like, people could make more money playing RuneScape farming for gold and then selling that gold for Bitcoin than they would actually at their hourly job in Venezuela, right? Based on the numbers. And they ran the numbers and broke down what it was in Venezuela, and they played it off as a real story, the first original article, but I tracked it down months later.
Satire.
Yeah. And so the statistics later on came, it was like, okay, it was a spoof story, it was kind of a joke, and then it's like, okay, but it's actually true though. And then so they kind of snowballed, and then everybody starts going right now. Like there's a bunch of people for Dashcoin going to Venezuela. There's a bunch of Bitcoin enthusiasts in Venezuela putting on conferences saying, look, your government's failing, hop ship. And so when these collapses start to happen, the stress starts coming, then people start pouring in their money into Bitcoin, and that's the J curve on that. But
interesting.
Yeah, and I mean, there's going to be a good opportunity to buy. Oh, go ahead.
I think the moment that can be available for these countries in those situations, or countries in Africa, just wherever there's corruption, and you can give people that power. Obviously, it's that huge idea will be put into effect, but it's like those rich people in Venezuela who can put their money into Bitcoin. When will they be able to pay off their house or pay payments for their car, food, and stuff like that with the security they have into Bitcoin? So
Yeah,
So
when will they be able to actually make transactions with the coins? That's
yeah,
kind of
yeah.
it. Like that's what's kind of holding it back right now. And there's kind of rumors around Amazon. There's been rumors for a couple of years around Amazon
Hmm.
for us to start accepting payments. Amazon just purchased 2 or 3 different domains that are cryptocurrency related, which started a
Well,
little bit of buzz around that. So they're eyeballing it. They
I
don't.
think that would be massive.
Yeah,
Like,
it's huge. Overstock.com for years has been accepting Bitcoin payments.
hmm,
Microsoft.com just made it more accessible to accept Bitcoin payments. But Amazon, being the largest retailer in the world, if they can start doing that. Then then we start having transaction. People will start seeing the Bitcoin logo, accepting Bitcoin, and they'll be like, "Dude, what the heck's Bitcoin?" And I'll be honest, man. Like I'm more likely to spend money in Bitcoin than I am off my credit card. Like, cause it just takes me like I'm first world problems, right? Like it takes me like all this time to go find my wallet, go chase it down, then go type in the numbers and go do all this stuff. When I could literally just pull out my phone and scan the code and click pay for Bitcoins.
hmm,
That's all it is. That's how
crazy.
dead simple it is. Because I have all this on my phone and I'm always on my phone. So just click pay.
Hmm.
It's just like send an email, done. And it's so I'm more likely to buy something through Bitcoins than I am on a credit card. I don't know how often. If they don't have PayPal, I'm usually like, dude, fuck this. I'm not. Because I
Right,
can log
right.
in through PayPal, but I'm not gonna go find my wallet to go get my credit card information.
Interesting.
That's just kind of my mindset on it, right? And you were talking about waiting for a dip or a pullback. There's getting ready to be, I don't know how big of a dip, I don't know what, but there's a big change for the Bitcoin network coming in 10 days from today.
Okay, I need that. There's
Yeah,
gonna wait. What's it called again? Like
it's called
a
SegWit
merge or
2x.
something?
Yeah, it's a hard fork. So it's called a
A
hard
fork.
fork. Yeah, it's called a hard fork.
Okay,
Hard fork.
I need this.
Yeah, hard fork SegWit 2x. Right. So what it's
Okay.
doing is they're upgrading the network, and they've done this a couple of times throughout the last couple of months, or like the last 2ish
Hmm.
months. Okay, Bitcoin Gold came out, Bitcoin Cash came
Yep.
out, where they
I
cloned the
followed that.
network. Well, B2X
Okay.
is coming out, and this one's kind of different. Okay, it's got me kind of freaking out a little. Like, dude, I don't know what's going to happen. I don't know if it's going to go down or go up. And I had 16,000, 17,000 cash in Bitcoin. So I had 2.25 Bitcoin. I sold out and liquidated yesterday before the price dropped because it was at 7,700. It's now closing to breaking below 7,000 again. So it's right on the border of 7 grand. So
Okay.
we're on the teetering point right now of Bitcoin, right?
I
It
need
could
scared people.
Yeah, and so well, this is a scary moment to be honest with you for
Yeah.
Bitcoin, and it's not.
Yeah.
I'm not telling you to buy right now. Like I am
Hmm.
telling you use your judgment and think about it. But what's
Hmm.
happening is there's trying to be a hostile takeover of Bitcoin right now. So there's two important things for Bitcoins: the coin itself and the value of the coin, and the miners, and the mining backend, because the miners process the network. Well,
Hmm.
about in May, all the miners got together and signed this agreement to upgrade the network. About 81% of the mining power said, dude, we're going to do this. And what's happened is that's part of the reason for the breakoffs. And they said, okay, well, I don't like your agreement. I don't like your agreement. We're just going to go our own way, and have slowly started creating their own stuff. Now, this one is the miners of Bitcoin. Majority of the computer hashing power is rumored to hop ship to this new Bitcoin 2x. So what's happening here is they're trying to steal all the power, the computers, because there's about 4 major companies that control majority of the mining power. They're trying to
Okay.
enforce upon us, like, dude, we own the mining power, we control the network, kind of thing, right? To get rid of the
Hmm.
decentralized thing, to try to take over the network and say, you know what, we're doing this. We don't like
Hmm.
your upgrade plan. We're going to dominate. And with Coinbase right now and GDAX right now, they're accepting that. They're like, okay, we're going to see which way you people want to go. So,
And that's the 81%.
yeah, exactly. The
Okay.
81% is a hostile takeover, in my opinion, right? Some people like
Hmm.
it, but majority of the network is like, that I've seen is no on it. Like, they don't like this idea. They're like, dude, this is bullshit. Like, you're ruining the network, right? So
Oh,
it's,
so the normal people don't like what the 81% are doing.
no,
The 81% just represent the miners.
exactly. Exactly. So the
Wow.
81%,
Okay.
81% represent the miners and the computing power. So they're the mining
Hmm.
pools. So Antman and Bitmain are the mining pools. They have like the second largest Bitcoin mining pool in the world. The largest one is like kind of I don't know that like it's a sister company for Bitmain, but it's like they owned all the Bitmain hardware. So the ASIC hardware
Mm,
from Bitmain, so I think they're kind of like attached to each other. Like one's kind of like, if I want this, you better say the same thing, otherwise I'm gonna buy other people's hardware. So
I
I,
see. Yeah.
but with them combined, they both own right there about 50% of the network. Now,
Okay.
the scary thing is, okay, there's this thing called a 51% attack. And this is kind of just my thinking that most people don't know about yet, or haven't really been talking about. It's called the 51% attack. Hypothetically, if they could take the majority of the network's hashing power based on the algorithm, they can start putting fake transactions through the network of the old Bitcoin network to crash the old Bitcoin network to ensure that theirs takes over. And that's
Okay.
called the 51% attack. So a lot of people right now are kind of like buzzing, like, dude, is Bitcoin going to die? Is Bitcoin 2x going to take over? What's going to happen here? We don't, like, there's nobody really knows. So even myself, like, I have a guy that's been in Bitcoin. I call him my Bitcoin consultant. He owns a consulting company. He himself is even like, dude, this is one of those moments where you sit and hold cash. He's like, dude, I'll almost never recommend that. He's like, almost never recommend that. But the upside on this is like Bitcoin will go from about $7,000 to 10 grand because 10 grand is coming. If everything goes smooth, 10 grand's right around the corner. If if S2X takes over, normal Bitcoin, so you'll get both. You'll get clones, so you'll have coins on both if you're holding. But S2X, Bitcoin will crash, the original one, and then S2X will become Bitcoin. That's what the title. It'll take it over. It's take its crown.
And how would they come up with a price for that?
It's already
If
there.
the
So they're trading futures for Bitcoin right now, back and
Mm.
forth. So right now the futures price
so
of
they would pick up where they left off.
yep, exactly.
Okay.
And so they'll pick up. I don't know if it'll. It's all supply and demand at this point, right? What people are willing to pay. So there's a chance that
Exactly.
what will happen is the majority of people that are in Bitcoin are in it because it's decentralized, right? That
Mhm.
nobody really controls it. It's kind of like a public or an atmosphere. Now, if this shift changes, it gets rid of majority of the decentralized atmosphere, right? It's gone more or
Right.
less.
Right. The people who are in it for the quick sales and to ride the wave, they're out.
Yeah, and so they're
So that would drop the price.
hard, right? And so
Yeah.
there's a lot of problem in the front end pushing the price down. Like, dude, where the people who are in the know are kind of like worried, so we're selling out. That's the reason for the price drop right now. If it's successful, that's when you start watching the altcoins because Bitcoin itself might start to collapse if this takeover happens. I don't know for sure, right? But Litecoin and Dashcoin, which are both lower coins that are doing the same idea as Bitcoin, crypto's not going to die. The idea of blockchain and crypto is not going anywhere. But what's going to happen is the community is going to curve to something else that won't allow this to ever
More
happen again.
reliable.
Yeah, that won't ever because this has been a talk of the town since Bitcoin's been created. The potential of
Right. It's
something like
almost
this
like an
happening.
anarchy atmosphere. It's like we're getting away from government, but who is governing? How do we keep there has to be some
Regulatory system that ensures that it's secure.
Yeah. There's got to be some law in there.
And that's
to
where
it, to the
Dashcoin.
unlawful.
That's where Dashcoin comes in, right? That's why I think Dashcoin's a good next opportunity because it's self-governing and there's a back end where if you own or if you have a Dashcoin wallet, you can vote. Like it's a voting process of how the coin gets upgraded, where they spend their money for marketing, all this kind of stuff. It's all like a community driven, like not by the miners. Yeah, not by miners. And the
That's
transactions. The transactions are an ass ton faster. But Dashcoin is so new still. So it's super fresh, it's super new. That's why Bitcoin's so good right now. Like it's been tested for years, stress tested, bugs, hacks, like everything. Like it's there. Where these other coins are on different algorithms haven't been tested as much, so there's still bugs that they have to work out. They're years behind.
So why wouldn't Facebook or Google get behind this and just blow it out of the water?
Because it's not really regulated, I feel like. I can't answer that question, but I know.
I mean, it's like they could be a big player in this. I mean, maybe the banks and the government would hit them hard for it, maybe somehow.
I don't know.
Because they don't. The bankers don't want this.
No.
Which would mean the government doesn't want this.
True. And my buddy, he goes to Berkeley, so he's in Berkeley. He went to Facebook, and he gets in with the Facebook IT team all the time. He asked him, dude, he's like, what do you think of blockchain? And actually, majority of the IT tech chain of Facebook are like, dude, I love the idea of blockchain. I love Bitcoin. They're all the ones, the developers of Facebook right now are all about it. And they're like, we're trying to figure out an idea of how to implement something blockchain for Facebook, not necessarily Bitcoin, but blockchain,
Right.
because there's so much strength what blockchain can do down to the deepest core of security and all that stuff. Like essentially, man, we could create a full secure network. Like we could completely eliminate the social security system and go straight blockchain, and that could be the new social security number. And that the way blockchain is designed, and then there would be no Equihash hacks and no one of that stuff. But it's a whole government switch of like, okay, now you have a Bitcoin number instead of a social security number, basically, right? And it's just backed by that system that it can't be crushed. There's so much opportunity. It's one of those. There's not too many times in our life where you get the chance to see something that's really revolutionary. And I think blockchain. I mean, Bitcoin is, but blockchain as a whole. I think what they've done for security protocols and what really is there. If you know developer Ryan Poole, I reached out to him. He's actually a software developer. I'm sure you remember from high school. He happened to hit me up on Instagram. Like I liked one of my photos or something. I go back over and I see he's running his own entrepreneurial website and things of that sort. And I was like, yeah, and I was like, okay, cool.
That's
Ryan Park, not Ryan Poole. Ryan Park, yes.
Okay, I knew Ryan Park was getting into some computer stuff. He was down South America for a while. And then, Justin Hale just told me that he was going through like a private computer, just like a speedy class, like where it was all day type thing, not like normal college.
He told me that too. Like I only had a couple of messages because I've cut off a lot of the people from high school, man. Like I haven't. I moved to Portland. And I said, dude, I don't want anything to do with Reading. I don't want anything to do with any of that stuff. I'm going to go out and do my own thing. And then all of a sudden, these people are starting to show up as entrepreneurs. And I'm like, okay, so what are you doing? Like, how can I help you? Like, what is it that you want to know? Because that's all I've done since high school, man. Like, read books, go to courses and seminars nonstop. Like, I've spent probably $30,000-$40,000 on mentorships and seminars and books and just all this stuff.
Bro, that's better. I was just telling a guy here, dude, that's better than being 60 or 80 grand in the hole to a degree, bro.
Yeah, I agree. That's
why I joined the Air Force. I'm like, I don't know what I want to study.
Right.
I don't know what I want to
do. Exactly, and that's why I mean, now I own a media marketing company called Trimble Media. I mean, we're not huge, but we have enough clients that I don't have to have a job right now, so it's kind of cool on that.
That's what's up.
Making a killing on Bitcoins every freaking day, and starting a podcast, for helping entrepreneurs because I'm like, dude, like I can teach the process of what I've done, so I'm going through like reteaching and redescribing and trying to say, hey, look, dude, like I know you want to be, because 50% of our generation, dude, consider themselves as entrepreneurial. It's really what they do, right? But majority of them have no idea how to start a business or have no idea what they want to do, and so it's not really that hard once you figure out, okay, I'm good at this. Now I need to double or triple down on my skill set on doing this.
And quit being like, I'm not good at this. I need to get better. It's like, forget that. You suck at that.
Yeah, exactly. Like, let go of the bullshit that you're not good at and just fucking go. Like, don't. I think that's the problem right now is a lot of us are conforming. A lot of us are like spending all this time just doing bullshit that we hate or just don't like doing. And it's just sucking our skill set out of us and our excitement and our enjoyment in life out of us. Like the second I quit my job, like I was scared for like 2 days. But day 3, the fucking relief and empowerment that I had, I can't even explain that. Like
You're talking about a guy who will go to jail if he doesn't wake up the next day to go to work.
Yeah, so exactly.
When I get my, they say they call it DD-214. When I get that document, it says I'm no longer
owned by the military.
It's been great, but I've been done for a couple years now, so I'm not so ready.
I'm not hating on you, and I respect it. Both my roommates were Navy. Like I mean, my little brother and sister are. It's a path that I almost took, dude. I was this close.
I'm still glad I did, but I'll still make jokes about how ridiculous it is. Like, it's a lot of times it's dumb. But in hindsight, this is what I was supposed to do. But it's far from entrepreneurial.
Well, it teaches you the discipline, I think, because I think that was my biggest
Yeah.
hard thing is like committing to something and saying, dude, I'm just gonna go to one goal, one mission, like I'm going to win. And that's I think
Hmm.
the military bakes that into you, like we're going to win, we're going to win, we're going to win, and like cause a business is just a system of systems, man. Like it's not a bad place to start becoming entrepreneurial. I mean, MLM that we
Yeah.
started out with, it's kind of okay. Like it's whatever, it gets us
Yeah, I
down
mean,
the
I
path.
almost didn't join because of that. Like, I almost was like, dude, I made a few thousand this month. No one ever does that, so I'm not going to join the Air Force. And the next, you know, like the whole thing kind of fell off, and people joined the next big MLM, the next big MLM. I
Hmm.
was just like, man, I'm glad, you know, I found photography since I've been in,
I
and
saw that.
that was something I've considered about. Like, shoot, should I be a wedding photographer in Germany? Like, what the heck? I could do that, you know? That's like on the back burner right now. Every time I've been to Turkey twice in a year and a half, so it's like if I can't pick up a camera every day and see something beautiful, it's like screw photography. You know, I can't make something out of nothing out here. So, but that's like, you know, you got the, you know, the discipline of doing a job you don't like. You try and do something on the side. So like it's always what's the next side gig for me.
Yeah, and I agree with
So
that. And the side hustle is what will set you free eventually. You know, at least
mhm,
you're doing
mhm,
something, right? Where most people aren't doing anything.
yeah,
And yeah, photography. I have a friend. He gets paid $10,000 a wedding to go shoot wedding photography. His
that's
name's
huge.
yeah, his name's Taras, and they fly him all around the world. So he goes to the Ukraine, he goes to Russia, he goes to South Africa sometimes, or no, South America sometimes. And this dude's incredible.
Wow.
He's drone certified, so he can fly a drone around and shoot videos. That's he because I did some favors for him for marketing and helped him out a little bit. So he shot me
Did
and
he
my
do your photos?
yeah yeah
Yeah,
those
I love it. Like it fits with your brand very well.
yeah those
Yeah,
last
you did a
two
fantastic job.
yeah, and those are unphotoshopped. Those are just raw. Those are just straight from his
Great.
camera, the settings that he did. So both of those he took. We ran around for about 2 hours through downtown Portland, and so there's
Mhm.
hundreds of other photos that I don't even have yet that are just there.
Dude, I
So
feel like Portland's just full of creatives.
it
I
it
feel like I've never been there, but man, I just know so many photographers from there. It's crazy.
it's different. Like here, like it really is. Like the mindset is different. And
I'm like, how do these people make money, bro? Like, there's a million photographers in Portland. You guys better all hop on a plane and have a, you know, you better have your social media game down, your marketing, because man, if you're a
photographer in
Portland
Portland.
bride,
Yeah, but
yeah, good luck.
there's so much like scenery here though. Like you can go big
Oh
city
yeah,
real quick, and then you can go
beautiful.
another way and you're down at the waterfalls, or you can go the other way and you're at the beach. Like within like 2 hours, you there's so much that you could go shoot. There's so many places. It's insane. And
Yeah,
so as a hobbyist, it's kind of cool. And when you're a good photographer, man, it's not hard to grow a huge Instagram following, an Instagram account. Not at all.
yeah.
And so
It's
you
been
just
crazy. I was in groups where I've literally watched people go from like 1,000 and then like 6 months later 10. And I'm like, oh, now they're good to go. They're growing now.
yeah.
So
And that's Taras has 43,000 followers or something. Yeah.
wow,
And
awesome.
and it's one of those things, man. Like just get good at what you want to do and do it. So I don't know. Do you have any other questions for me though about Bitcoin or marketing or anything? I guess.
Yeah. When is this fork? I want to keep an eye on this. I mean, seeing all the buzz in this and the potential futures, I want to get my foot in the door, and I should have done it a couple weeks ago when it was at 45. It was literally at 45. We're like, dang, just broke the 45 mark. I'm like, wow, 5, wow, 7, dude. So yeah, I had my eye on it a little bit, not too quick though. So if you know, when I do want to buy wood, Coinbase be a good entry spot, or should I get hardware or a wallet? I mean,
I would start with Coinbase. Eventually, buy a Trezor wallet if you're gonna just buy and hold forever, just because it's better to have
mm,
it on the Trezor wallet. But
okay,
you can start with Bitcoin on Coinbase. Then you kind of upgrade later on into whatever that you choose to do. You can, um, like take your profits if you want to buy a hardware wallet or whatever it is. They're 100 and
mm,
like 20ish bucks or something like that. So you don't need one on the front end.
gotcha.
But yeah, the fork is the 16th. We don't know the exact time yet, but
Hmm.
somewhere on the 16th. It's called S2X or Segwit 2X, Segwit 2X. Google that and just kind of do a little research on it. There's two sides to that story. The reason they're doing the fork is because they want it to be more money-like instead of exchange-like. So they're trying to make the network more currency, is what they're claiming. Where the other parts, like, dude, no. But do a little research on it and see what you think.
But just for hearing that from starters, without like research or anything, I just have a feeling that, you know, when something like this happens, people get a little spooked. They sell, the price will dip, and then you go from there.
Yep.
So my initial thought is buy the day before or the 2 hours before and see what happens. Maybe, you know, maybe it goes down more afterwards. I don't know. Maybe, you know, you have to eat $1,000 or $500 or something. I don't know.
Usually it does dip right after, because what happens is most people with the last forks, they'll sell out their free money because they'll get a clone of the other one. They'll sell out the other ones or sell out this. So what actually happens is they'll take the money from the altcoins. So they'll sell out of their altcoins just to go to Bitcoin, which will shoot Bitcoin up in price so they can get the free money here, and then they'll sell out the day after, right after they got their free money, and go back to their altcoins. So that's the traditional way. But here, what's another potential is they can sell out of the Bitcoin directly and hop ship to Segwit the day after. So there's two ways that this can go. So being in right before, at least you'll have both, right? So if Segwit wins, you'll have some money in Segwit. If Bitcoin wins, then you'll have money in Bitcoin. So you won't lose everything, but you'll get a clone of the coin. So I'd buy like the day before, something like that, right before, like when you see a dip, like, you know, it's a good time, because right now it's not bad, because we're like a week out, 10 days out or something, and the coin has dropped $700. It's at $7,171. If it breaks,
and it was at 7,800.
Yeah, 7,006 I think was its highest or something like that.
So my thought is, you know, just recently it was at 5, now it's at 7. Is the only difference been more people coming into it?
Yes, 100,000 people coming in, buying in. The aura and the talk around it's causing the price to go up. So that's a big change. Amazon's hype that went out is a good one.
It's so crazy.
But it was suppressed for a little while because a lot of people were freaking out about the forks, the Bitcoin forks, all these other ones. So a lot of people weren't hopping in. They were like, okay, I'll just wait for it all. And then like it kind of calmed down for a little bit, and that's why it popped. So it had a time of there's a trend line of usually where it's supposed to be, and it got way behind on trend, and then it just busted. It was building up for a little while. So that's kind of why it popped. Nobody really knew that, but we kind of all knew it was going to climb. We didn't know how far or how fast. So, I mean, once you start watching the network, once you start watching GDAX all the time, you can see the volume, and you'll know. Like, you'll feel it. Like, you'll see when the volume's starting to take a dive, and then you'll see when it's starting to simmer out and it's not dropping as hard anymore, and where the bounces are, where, like, people always start to buy at. Like, you know that it's the chance of it breaking this area are slim. And so when it gets close to that area again, you buy it. So you'll when you start looking, because the thing to know about Bitcoin is it's all emotional. Like, this coin is not backed by a company. It's not backed by anything. The value of this coin is traded by by emotions. How people feel the coin is going to go. That's it. Yeah. So if you feel some sort of way, a lot of other people are starting to feel that way as well. So you don't trade off your emotions, trade off the facts on the screen.
I want to go off the opposite of the norm.
Exactly. Don't trade off your emotions, but if you're feeling that way, you can take that back and process that a little bit, and you'll be able to see, oh shit, like, okay, other people are feeling that way too. That's what's, dude, I'm about 30,000 up, man. I made $6,000 off Bitcoin from this jump. $6,700. And
yeah, well, I heard on your podcast, you're like, I hope it gets to 7. You said something like that. I'm just like, wow, that'd be quite a jump, and here it is,
Yeah, and I was listening to one of my old podcasts. I was like, yeah, it's almost at 5,000 right now. And I'm like, it's almost at 7,000, 8,000 right now. Yeah, if it would have hit $8,000, my account would have been at 20 G's.
That's what's up.
I was posting the photos on Facebook like a month ago at $10,000 in my account, man.
So do you have a thought of buying more?
Yes, yes. Not right now though. So I'm
Yeah.
actually making a lot of. If my clients do bitcoins, I'm gonna walk upstairs because my Mac is almost dead. But a lot, if my clients use bitcoins or have bitcoins, I have them pay me in Bitcoin. So I was at 10 G's, and my client paid me in Bitcoin, which was X amount of Bitcoin, which actually went up a bunch in value. Excuse me.
So did you base it off of dollars? You said,
Yep.
you know, I want you to pay this much in dollars, and then you just whatever the price of Bitcoin is
For that moment, exactly. Yeah.
Gotcha.
So I charged one of my clients for website development, email marketing creation, a bunch of other things that I did for him. Right. I charged him. It was like $4,000 is what I charged him for one of the clients. But how Bitcoin went up in price, how much it climbed, it went, and my account went about almost 7,000. So I went from charging him 5,000, but I rode the Bitcoin climb up to about 7,000. So it was a good exchange for me, good profit taking for me. But as many times as I can get somebody to give me more Bitcoin or make me a little bit more Bitcoin, that's kind of something that I would prefer to do. Is take a little bit of profits in Bitcoin, and move a little bit, because man, the aura around Bitcoin is there. But another thing to know and keep in mind with this whole Bitcoin thing is it's going to pop. It's not a bubble. I don't want to call it a bubble because it's here to stay. But it's kind of like the MLM mindset, right? There's the momentum phase, and then how they tell you about MLM. So everybody's going to come in and they're joining it right now to make money. That's the mindset. Oh my God, I can invest in it and I can make so much money.
Yeah, that's me.
Trader, right? When the money dries up and it's like doesn't start gaining as fast, the momentum, people will pull back. Right now, Bitcoin's mindset is not being used for a cryptocurrency. It's being used as a way to make money.
Right? Momentum. Yep.
So we're momentum phase here. It's going to go up. It's going to climb, and then we're going to hit this point of, okay, we hit 10. Is it 10,000? What is it, right? And then it's going to fall like a rock, because it'll always fall faster than it climbs, always. So it will fall like a rock, and that's the time when you buy.
Yeah, I mean, dude, when the housing market goes down, the rich people just get richer, man. They just buy more property because they know it's not going to go nowhere.
Exactly.
So.
I mean, I feel bad for those people that are sitting there on millions, and then it blows up and goes away. But you're going to sit there, and no one knows when it's going to happen. But right now, there's a lot of talk. But all it really takes is one big negative push, and then you get this big ass pullback. It's kind of because, like, even gold, man. Like, there's nothing that has true value in this world, at least in my opinion. Right? There's nothing that has real innate value. Diamonds, for example, dude. Like, diamonds weren't worth nothing like 50 years ago. And then they did this whole marketing ploy around diamonds, and diamonds are forever, which created this market of, okay, now every wedding ring in the world is basically a diamond ring now, which created the value of diamonds. It was all a marketing ploy. That's what created that. Now, gold, I mean, it's been around for a long time, so you can attest, okay, people have loved it forever, but if some marketing ploy came around saying, dude, gold now gives you cancer, whether it's true or not,
right.
The volume is going to drop. There's nothing. The true money in this world is resources, like your time and your knowledge of how to make the money again. It's not the things. The things are just the tools. That's how I see it, at least,
Yeah, it can change at any moment.
Any moment, and that's so it can pop. And I think, man, there's a lot of money to be made in Bitcoin. There's a lot of money if you have free time to trade the altcoins. I have a friend, the Davis guy. He has about $2,000 in his account, something like that. And he has $6,000 days. He goes out and he's like, yeah, I made $5,000 today. He's an idiot though. He's like, yeah, it's just fuck you money. He's like, I don't really care as much. And so he will just make the stupidest trades just because he's like, yeah, it's fun. So he'll take his account, take it up to like $10,000, $12,000, and he's like, oh, I think and then he'll just piss it away, and then he'll just like whatever, and just won't pay attention, just do a stupid trade. He's like, oh, I went to college in class, like I didn't know if it was a good trade, so I bought it anyway. and then you'd go to class and it'll come back and it'll be down $4,000. Like if you'd stop doing those stupid trades, this guy would probably have $40,000, $50,000 in his account. Like I've been watching him, I've been helping him, and now we kind of go back and forth off each other and talk. But I'm the one that got him into trading. Like he's been eyeballing, he was doing Forex for a long time, but he saw me making an ass ton of money on Ethereum, and he's like, dude, what are you doing? And I spent a little bit of time, and I was like, dude, watch this, and he's like, oh shit, and he's just ran from it. He went and did like a whole bunch of penny stock trading courses, and he's implementing what he learned on penny stocks onto Bitcoin.
That's
yeah, and he's making a killing.
I've got nothing but time here. I got a lot of time. I do a lot of reading and reading articles. What is a site that I could that I should monitor this on? Where you're talking about
for Bitcoin?
The ups and downs of Bitcoin. Yeah.
I haven't really found a lot, to be honest with you, man.
So you just check out the price.
I check the news all the time. Like I'm trying. So my strategy is join every single Facebook group that I can find that's crypto, right? And then what you can start to see is what people are talking about in aura of like their feelings. But there's too much. So what's happening right now is there's so much of these altcoins showing up, and they're all offering affiliate program. So what's happening is everybody's doing this fucking fake bullshit push on these stupid alternate coins that are garbage, so they can take an affiliate commission and sell out and never even own any of the coins. So it's kind of ruining a little bit of the value of the news. There's some that are okay, like CoinMarketCap is okay. If you Google FNews, ETHnews.com, they're okay. But every now and then, none of them are like to my trust of like, dude, like this is always good, right? So it's usually the ones that are good that show up on Medium, and somebody has an incredible post or like, okay, that they have a different insight on things that's kind of changing. So there's not one source. It usually comes from a collective whole of it's shared in the groups. So
I like that Facebook group. That's a great idea.
Yeah, that's how I kind of get a lot of the gist of like, okay, this is what's about to pop, and I'm in a bunch.
The last fork with Bitcoin Cash, or is it Bitcoin Gold?
Bitcoin Gold was the newest one.
Yeah, Bitcoin Gold. I talked to a photographer friend who randomly posted about Ripple and Bitcoin Gold, and I'm like, hey, dude, like, what the heck are you talking about? And he was like, oh, well, it's like, I'm gonna sell my altcoins and I'm gonna rebuy back, this new Bitcoin after the fork. And I'm just like, I had no idea what he was talking about. I had to Google everything he just said, and now it's making sense to the situation that's about to happen again. So
and just don't the thing about this one is it's just not the same. Like this one is just not quite the same. It's close. It's the same idea.
It seems like it'll be like exponential.
Either way.
For better or worse.
For better or worse, exactly. It'll build morale. Like if it goes this way, it'll build morale. Like, dude, nothing can stop Bitcoin. Like, not even these fuckers.
It will take off.
Yeah. Nothing.
I think you're right, dude. I think you're right.
And that's
just the momentum is pretty for real.
Yeah, and I've made. I mean, dude, I've been on skipping around the house because I love these $1,000 days. Because I had up until yesterday, like I had 2.25 Bitcoin. So anytime that it moved like $500, I'm up $1,000. And then like having $1,000 days on Bitcoin, and I'm just skipping. I'm just like, dude, this is incredible. This is incredible. This is great. My girlfriend's like, what? I'm like, I'm just watching my version of Netflix over here. Don't worry about it. Like as I'm watching the Bitcoin charts, like
the zigzags.
And it's fun, and it's something that I actually get because I've been doing it forever. I've been around and back, so I can actually understand what's happening versus trying to trade penny stocks. It's the same, very much the same, but it's like I get crypto, so that's what I've done.
That's what's up. Yeah, I mean, I could be like, oh, I'll just contribute more to my Roth, but it's like, I might be dead by the time I'm 60. I don't want. I mean, it's good for my kids, but it's like, I want to, be a part of something that's going on right now, so.
Well, crypto's popping right now. I mean, do research on it, look it up, and see what's going on. But it's breaking new highs and breaking new highs and breaking new highs. And just watch the feel. And, like, if you get free time, just open another, web browser and watch DDAX, because it'll give you the level 2. of the buys and sells, so you can see the live trades, so you can see where people are buying and see where people are selling, and try to start guessing. Like, okay, I think it's going to turn around here and go back up. I think it's going to drop here and turn back down. Even if it's a little bit of a swing, that way you can start to understand, like, and then once you can get the little swings, you can start to predict the bigger swings. You can see, okay, I think a big one's getting ready to happen because of this. And you if you want to trade, you play the big swings. If you just want to buy and hold, you just wait for a drop and then go.
Sweet.
But the cool thing is usually, like, once you get going, you'll find people that are doing it. Like myself, I have like 5 people that are doing it, but I can always send a message to and be like, dude, what do you think? Ask them their opinion on it, and if it matches my opinion, I'm like, cool. Ask somebody else. Because we all kind of are doing the same thing right now. We're all in the groups. We're all listening and saying, hey, what's your opinion on this play?
Does Coinbase give any codes that you could give me that would get you more money?
You'd get a $10. I can invite you, but that's it. So it's nothing like a referral efficient. It'll help with your first like fees to buy your original first coins. When you buy a certain amount, you get $10. I see. But it's there's nothing affiliate about
huge.
It. Yeah. So, but yeah.
Well, bro, I appreciate the call, man. This is got me some really good insight.
Well, that's good. I'm happy you liked it. I recorded the audio version of it, so I can rip the audio and send it back to you later on. I'll probably end up putting it on my podcast and chop it up a little bit.
Cool.
But I mean, because you're not the only person that has these questions. It's kind of my mindset. Now that I started doing podcasts and blogs, bro. Like, I have so many people coming to me all the time asking these questions.
That's huge. I mean, there's so many people in my shoes that can get value from this. So, I think the bigger variety of people that you have these different talks with, I mean,
it's fun
podcast is of huge value. Yeah, that's awesome.
And so it's fun. Like yesterday, I had some guy, his name's Mo. I did a talk with him on the phone for about an hour and a half, and he's kind of where we were a few years ago, trying to find a way free on MLM. Like the mindset of, I'm going to get this residual income and it's going to set me free. He's having a little bit of success, but not a lot. And so I'm like, dude, like, I'm trying to tell him that, like, you're doing MLM for a means to an end. You're not passionate about it, so why are you doing that kind of thing? If it's just to set you free and so you can be a millionaire, you're wasting your time.
That's not usually long-lasting either.
Yeah, no.
That's not like a long-lasting goal.
No. And I'm like, dude, and that's what I was telling him. He's like, oh, I want to have $100 million. And I was like, I stopped him. I cut him off. I was like, dude, what does $100 million mean to you? He's like, financial freedom. I was like, what does that mean to you? He's like, I don't know. I don't have to have a job anymore. And I'm like, dude, you don't need to have $100 million to not have a job anymore. Your bills are probably $2,000 a month, my friend. Like, all you need is $2,000 a month coming in every single month to not even have a job anymore. Do you know how hard it is to make $2,000 a month? Not. Like, I was doing that as a freelancer while I had a job. Like, and then I realized, dude, I have enough money basically coming in. And I'm like, Mo, you just need to figure out what you're good at and do that. And the money will just start to come. Like, it just will. And he's like, he looked at me, he's like, wow. I didn't, what? Like, you could.
When you fall short of a goal of 100 mil, I mean, you're just like, all right, I'm done trying.
Yeah, and you could see, like, I could hear his mind click. He's like, dude, I never thought about it like that. I love that. Like, I love that. So, I don't know.
It's awesome, dude.
Well, you have me on Facebook. If you have any questions or anything, let me know. I'm always here. So.
For sure.
I don't know, man. Good luck. Go shoot some photos. Have fun. And
appreciate it. Yeah, man. Thanks again. It was good talking to you.
Thank you for your service, dude. Like, I respect that more than ever anymore. So, nice to
My pleasure, man.
If anybody else wants to chat, send them my way. I'm always free.
For sure. Got your podcast too, so share that around.
Thanks, man. I appreciate it.
All right, man. See you.
Bye. Let's see if we can figure out how to end this. There we go.